Welcome back to the Sideline. I am now joined in studio by junior cross-country runner Connor Mulvaney. Connor, pleasure having you in studio.
Nice to be with you, Chris.
Now, Connor, how long have you been running cross-country?
I've been running cross-country for 7 years now. I started when I was a freshman in high school.
Now, cross-country is one of those sports many people raise an eyebrow at and kind of go, why do you do it? So I'm going to ask, what makes you just do a sport where you just run?
That's a tough question. It's like an addiction, I guess. It's something that once you start doing it, you can't stop. You sort of get stuck in it, I guess. It's a certain competitiveness in cross country that I don't think you have in other sports. It takes a certain kind of athlete, and you have to, once you find that niche in that sport, you kind of just stick with it.
They mentioned the competitiveness and it becoming like its own kind of athlete. Can you elaborate on that a little bit for people who aren't as familiar with the running type of sports?
I'm sure people have seen shirts that say something like "Our sport is your sport's punishment," and that's true, I guess. It takes a weird kind of person, I guess, to want to run all the time and really beat their bodies up like that. Like today, we were out on the track; it was like 90-something degrees outside. It sounds insane, right? But it's what we do. It's what we've done for, some of us 7 years, like myself. So, we're not going to stop anytime soon, I don't think.
Now, you mentioned some of the training. Can you go a little bit more into detail? Like, what exactly goes into training? Because I'm pretty sure it's not just you wake up one day and decide to go for a run.
Well, sometimes it is. We have a pretty intensive summer workout schedule that sort of mirrors our mid-season schedule. We do 2 5-mile runs every week, at least 5 to 8 mile runs, speed workouts, which include things like hills, track workouts, fartleks, which is like a minute on, a minute off of hard running, long runs, usually 10 to 12 miles in races, of course.
Now, how do you find yourself eating and drinking? Like, how do you hydrate yourself, and what type of diet, I should say, what type of diet do you take as a runner to make sure you have the nutrients you do to replenish after especially a hot day like today?
I'm the wrong person to ask that question. I follow this very strict rule, and it's pretty simple. Just listen to my body, and whatever I feel I need, I just take it. I always carry a water bottle with me to make sure that I'm hydrated. If I feel like eating a cheeseburger, 6 out of 7 days of the week, then I do it. If your body is craving something, then you probably need something in it. So that's what I do to keep myself replenished.
Now, you're entering your 3rd season here as a Point Park cross-country runner. What has been your personal record you have set for yourself at the high school level and at the college level?
Personal record as in times?
Yeah, as in times.
In high school, I think for the 5K, I ran 17:50 for the 5K, which is 3 miles, for those who don't know. In college, last year at Penn State Bearand, I ran a 29:30 about. So I'm looking to break that this year by a considerable amount. So.
Now you have to replace a couple big runners on your team this year. You lose Dylan Grun, a person who went to nationals last year. How do you replace a senior not only of that skill, but of that leadership ability?
It's tough. Losing Dylan was big. We're hoping that Zane Kravik will step up and sort of take the place of Dylan, as hard as that is for anybody to do. I've been pushing myself a little bit better. I've been running faster times than I ever have before, and I'm actually pushing Zane a little bit, I think. So hopefully between the two of us, we'll be able to at least keep our pack time up a little bit more than it was in years past to try and fill in the space that Dylan left.
Can we get a season preview out of you? What do you think cross-country team is going to do this year?
It is a rebuilding year because we lost Dylan, and what we've brought up hasn't been quite at the level that Dylan was at. We do have a couple of walk-ons that should be coming up in the next couple of weeks that we have high hopes for. But we've never been the fastest team, but this year I think that we can be one of the smarter teams. We've taken some extra steps in our training to make sure that we stay healthy. And if we can pull our pack time up, like I said before, I think we'll be solid.
All right. Thanks very much, Connor. Next up is our Case of the Week. in which we discuss how do you think the Pirates will finish their season. While our Case of the Week crew weighs in on that decision when we come back, you're watching the Pioneer Sideline here on UView.